I think we're live, Joe. We're live. He's alive. Let me just.
Yes, we are barely. It's probably
I'm fucking with the color on my ring light here. All right, you
just
still don't have microphone and ring light, Mr. Joe.
No, I know, and I was looking at laptops
and video
yesterday
camera
as well. So I'm gonna go.
You look
all
like
in.
you're in a smoky TradFi back room because of that camera.
Uh-oh, my secret's out. I got all the guys in the back room with the abacuses or abaci, whatever you'd call it, and stacks of gold and stuff and diamonds.
Awesome.
Yeah,
so lots of paper stock certificates.
Hey man,
everybody's printing and faxing.
It's my new DeFi play. Let's go 18th century. We're going to use 18th century leverage.
And you'll use the guillotine for all these crazy digital people. Exactly. I like it.
Yes.
I like it.
Off with their heads. So I believe, welcome back, Brad. We didn't see you yesterday, did we?
We did not. Brad was on an awesome phone call or interview with one of my favorite guests, Sam Kazemian of Frax. And they are doing more big brain crazy shit. And we went an hour and a half and I could have talked to that guy for 4 hours. It didn't even feel like an hour and a half. The only reason I knew it was an hour and a half because you were hassling me to get on the call. That dude, you know what I love? I love the projects that are fucking motivated by a mission, right? Look, everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to get rich. We're in the financial sector. We want to make money. I'm sure Sam does as well. But this guy has created a token to compete with the consumer price index and make it so that your money doesn't lose value because of inflation. And there's all kinds of details we go into. I'm not going to get into it today, but that episode, I'm hoping to have it out tomorrow morning. I'm rushing ahead of other people who've been waiting a long time for their episode to get out, but it's timely for him. They're launching in hopefully December-ish timeframe. And everybody, some little bit of alpha here for DeFi Lunch. They're launching with high yield single coin staking, similar to our friends at Olympus DAO. And everyone holding VFXX, which is their governance token or staking their governance token over the next couple of months, will be recipients of FPI. So Frax Price Index. They are building a oracle with Chainlink to monitor the consumer price index and update it once a month, as the federal government does. So it'll be automated on the blockchain, and it's such big brain shit, man.
Let me ask a question. Did he talk? There's an issue in these CPI measurements right now, in that a lot of people say there's a lot of inflation that's not being measured. I can't remember where it exists, but it's out there. Did he talk at all about that?
Well, we talked about the fact that the government data sucks, but it's all they can start with, right? So they're trying to offset it. They feel like, I think part of the bigger picture plan is that eventually this system will start pulling in publicly available data to offset the way the government does it, so that then it's updated, could be updated in real time, right? An industry report comes out, they pull the data in. And so instead of taking it from one single source, they'll have oracles feeding it from all kinds of industry sources across the board, right? So then you're getting real-time updates that'll impact kind of the stabilization of FPI. They're using the same models that they use with Frax, which has kept it pegged beautifully. We talked about regulation. We talked about all kinds of stuff. So good, really good episode, man. I could talk to these big brain, mission-driven guys all day long. It's so much. I don't care if I ever make a direct penny from the podcast, because the fact that I get to talk to these guys and hear what's coming and understand how they're thinking is so worth it. Just just absolutely worth it. It's so much fun. So much fun. Now, I don't mind making a little money from this. Don't get me wrong, but it's really cool shit. These people are really driven to change the world, right? I mean, the people most impacted by inflation are the poor and middle class. They can't save their money, and the economy requires them to spend their money to grow. And they're the ones that get devastated by inflation. People with money, they have things that overcome inflation, and those things aren't available. And this will be a way to put your money aside. He envisions 5 to 10% of everybody's money being an FPI eventually in your wallet. And so if you have something that's actually growing in value over time instead of losing value over time, and it still can be spent one-to-one, it's just really powerful. I think it's kind of take over the world kind of stuff. So I'm really impressed with what they're doing and what they're about to do. So
yeah, I mean, it sounds really interesting. I like the concept of kind of rebasing away inflation.
Yeah.
Once you start measuring it, I mean, to me, it's something about the way that I think the services economy has evolved, where the way that the Feds track CPI, I guess, is missing some categories these days. And I know they've been trying to figure out how to adjust for it, but obviously they're not there yet. So this could help. I like these indexy type plays.
Yeah.
One of my friends yesterday was asking, he's probably listening to this, so was asking about, hey, one of my friends put a bunch of money into some crypto, and what the number was 10, 15 grand, and now it's worth like 250 grand. Why didn't you tell me about this? And I'm like, well, first of all, your friend got very lucky, number one.
Just give me your money. I'll take 20% of the gains, put it over here.
And I said, what was the name of the token? And he told me, and I'd never heard of it. So it's like, I'm like, well, that was very lucky. But, everybody wants a tip.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't give tips because, one, nothing positive ever comes back to you.
Right. You're not going to get anything from it, and you risk,
pissing off friends.
Yeah.
And so I try to, but I was thinking, there is an indexy play for people like that want ideas, but that know nothing about crypto.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to get crushed if they try, some of the things that we talk about, and they just don't know. But I was thinking it'd be neat to put together an index. Remember we talked to those guys in Stockholm or whatever that have that European index product. I can't remember their name, but
yeah.
But they construct those, and then you use it as a benchmark if you're a fund or something like that to show that you can beat it. Like in the U.S. fund industry, you're always trying to beat the S&P 500.
Yeah,
that's your benchmark. So creating those kinds of things, but in ways where newbies can come in and invest just like it's an index or something in the ones that people think are best.
Yeah.
In that top set, some balance of BTC, some balance of ETH, some balance of BNB, on down the line. That kind of stuff, these rebasing CPI, these different ways of increasing velocity of capital, these indexes, these are all, brand new products and brand new things out there that are just adapting tools from traditional finance to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But, trying to make it accretive, like you said, to where, is there a world where you can have inflationary supply and rising prices, I guess, and not dilute purchasing power? I mean, to me, that's the holy grail.
That is the holy grail.
So go for it.
So one other thing that we discussed, and I asked him questions about, did it piss him off or annoy him or make him happy? MakerDAO, who has had historically a problem with the governance on their price of their peg, launched essentially a complete copy of the Frax algorithm yesterday. And he does, I put it in the comments, Sam did a thread on it yesterday, but we got into do you does that piss you off or make you excited that something so large is copying what you're doing? They didn't take the code, they didn't fork it or anything. They wrote original code, but the model is the same. And so this thread that I posted in the comments is kind of him talking about that, and how they believe that their favorite hashtag among their community is all roads lead to Frax, and that they're leading the way on changing the way algorithmic stablecoins function and money functions in society. And look, they're one step ahead. But I think also the downside to that for them is that something as large as MakerDAO, right, can overshadow Frax, right? In terms of, I mean, there are 600 million Frax out on the market. I don't know how much DAI has been minted, but it's a big deal that they were copied and that someone says, hey, this is the better model. From an investment perspective, I'd rather go with the guys who are creating the model than the guys who are copying the model. So anyway, interesting conversation we had. You can go to, or maybe you can't go to missiondefi.com. Is there a issue? Looks like there's an issue. I'll have to check it out. I was going to say, just subscribe to my Twitter feed and turn on notifications. You'll see the launch announcement.
Somebody's hooking up your office to their truck and driving off.
Wow, man, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it was funny because, I remember I was in Terra Luna real early on, the stable coin kind of algorithmic thing that now is, giant. And I can remember being in that at like sub $1.
Yeah.
And, when I see these kinds of stable coin, indexy, tools that are going to create data and signals that other people can use to make investment decisions, I mean, it just shows more and more about the robustness in the market.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it all around. I mean, I even see it on the consumer side. You saw the news about, like Aaron Rodgers is taking part of his salary, the Green Bay Packers quarterback, for those who don't follow American football, one of the top stars. He's taking part of it in crypto now, his salary.
Saw that yesterday.
I saw some deal between Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal.
I didn't see that. What was that all about?
It was about putting more crypto into circulation. So let me find out, which one am I on here? I've got so many windows open.
I'm going to try to find out what the fuck happened to my domain.
Yeah, it's been hijacked, and now it's a pump and dump scheme. The Brad coin.
Hey, so smart coin, my smart coin play is $2.79 away from 3x.
Your smart corn play? Is that what you said?
Smart coin?
Corn, like candy corn. Remember that?
Yeah. No, right, so I'm $2.79 away, despite this plummeting price on this shit coin.
Yeah, no, I saw the other thing was that crypto.com did a couple of interesting things. One was, they're launching the UFC NFT collection, and, they are doing something with Twitch Rivals, multi-year partnership, into the esports space. So, crypto and esports, match made in heaven, basically.
Yep.
More NFTs, more consumer adoption. I'm trying to find that. Here you go. Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App make cryptocurrency simple for beginners. So I think what they're really going after is people that are using Cash App and Venmo and all those services, using crypto for the payment mechanism is cheaper for everybody all around.
Right.
So it probably expands the PayPal margins. It probably saves money for the consumers, the users. So to me, that's big because, a lot of people that use those services tend to be underbanked.
Yep, absolutely.
So that's big.
Interesting.
News.
Okay. Let's talk about my man Tarantino.
Yeah, I think again, NFTs evidently released scenes from the production of the movie that includes lines. So it actually, I think I read somewhere it includes the actual screenplay language as part of the NFT. I don't know if it includes the audio part or not, but again, another interesting thing where you have a movie that's the asset, the intellectual property, and that was worth X, and now all of a sudden we're finding that all the stuff that was cut away and thrown into the storage bin is now worth something.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just again more leveraging assets to generate capital that hasn't been realized yet. So again, more interesting things.
Yep. Well, that's cool. I'm a big fan. I was just going over with my 15-year-old son a couple of days ago which of those movies he needs to see. So first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are tough. I was just mixing them up with Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Thinking, but yeah, I guess.
If I play a YouTube video, does the music start playing on the screen? I mean, in the feed?
I don't know.
This is a classic. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
It's so brutal. But now, every time I hear that song, it's just like... All right, I can't do it.
Yeah.
It'll be too brutal for people.
Yeah, we don't want to,
I guess we're kind of R-rated anyway.
Yeah, I think.
Anyway,
so.
I think this is a cool application of it. There are so many huge fans of Tarantino. Getting kind of unseen Pulp Fiction scene exclusively owned by you is a nice little hit and connection. I'm not going to be bidding on it because I guarantee you it's going to be out of my price range, but it's still fun. It's cool. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get the big bidders on this.
Yeah.
The celebrity bidders. So
you should put a 30-minute call with him on the back end of one of them, right? And say, hey, this one in particular starts at a much higher price point, but you get a 30-minute chat with me or a 15-minute chat with me on Zoom.
Yeah, no, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Anything extra, just it gets kind of some uniqueness around the product, the concept.
Yep.
So okay, pools.
What you looking at? What you in?
I started moving over into the defined pools on Phantom just because, USDC, USDT, 60% APR, Phantom, define, I want to say like 400 and something percent, define USDT, I think, or USDC, one of the two, like 400 and something percent. So I just started getting over there because there's going to be more product coming.
Wait, these are all in the defined pools?
Yep, defined pools on the Phantom blockchain. So you pull up define, then switch over to Phantom, and then go to pools. There's only 4 that are there right now.
Still, that's cool.
Yeah, just to go start cranking yield over there, because once router protocol launches, I'm not sure how everything's going to reconfigure at that point with, DEXs and, cross chain. So I think it could, because I don't see with like Spirit Swap and Spooky Swap, I don't see that same effort.
Right.
I see it being Phantom centric. So I'm kind of curious to see how this will play into that. What else? Polka Bridge. Yeah, I don't know if they got listed yet, but there was all that speculation about a listing. I came back out of the Polka Bridge USDT one on QuickSwap, went back to the Polka Bridge Define one on Define just because, I like them that they're rewarding in Polka Bridge.
Sure.
So it's just easier just to not have to do anything. And, the curve one
are you in this? Sorry, real quick. 72.39% on the stablecoin pair?
USDC, USDT?
Yeah.
Yes, that's it, right?
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah. So, these are like someone's, establishing a beachhead on another chain or another domain or area. They put these pools in, as you know, Brad, because they want, liquidity.
Yeah.
So they'll pay a premium. I mean, I even noticed I was looking at, I think it was the Geist one on Phantom. And you can get like 14, 15% to deposit USDC just straight up.
A single pair, a single coin, no pair, just USDC.
Yes. So there's a lot of things over there that are looking pretty good right now. What else am I doing? Still up on the Azuki Matic pool on Crystal, but getting ready to pull that down just because I want to move the Matic up to Aave. I pulled out of the Curve one just because Curve is moving too much for me right now to be paired. And I think DeFi's getting ready to make a move. So I'm a little concerned about near-term and permanent loss. So I'm trying to be a little bit more careful there. But, everything, look, and then Geist. Geist is spinning out serious amounts of Geist every day.
Right.
So I'm building that stack. So I'm kind of done building the Define stack. And so I'm going to kind of probably hold here and then just burn rewards into other tokens at this point.
Good.
Geist, I'm almost done there, where I'm almost have the full stack in place. And so now I'm looking again at working harder at Avalanche, specifically Aave Avalanche.
Yeah.
Aave rewards and the Avalanche token, AVAX.
Yep.
Is something that I want. It's a little pricey right now, so I might as well get it for zero.
Yep.
So I'm getting ready to start moving stuff in there, and the easiest way is Polygon to Phantom to Avalanche.
Yeah.
So that'll be my next kind of beachhead where I start building up an asset base on that pool or that.
I'm
chain.
stacking some Aave with this Smarter Coin thing. There's this so that everybody in the Telegram group rants about suicide compounding, right? Where you take your token. So they want everyone to take the yield they get of the tokens and just buy more Aave for the pair in the liquidity pool and then deposit it for the yield. I'm like, fuck that shit. Why would I continue to pile more of my money into this that risk and permanent loss on the money I'm piling in because the price of this thing can't stabilize? And why would I do that, right? And I guess I'm a bad community member, and I'll probably get penalized in the Smarter Coin game, but I don't give a shit because I'm 3x right now. But it just cracks me up. So I'm splitting off these yields every time, cutting them in half. But here's my point: how many farms have you been compounding in, right? Where the community is whining because people are splitting their yield to compound more. Right? We're adding to the TVL every day. And yes, selling half of the tokens you get in yield may depress price slightly, but I don't see any other project having the problem maintaining their price in any way because people are suicide compounding. And at the end of the day, that's one of the biggest weaknesses in their supposed game strategy or gamification of this thing is, if you expect people to keep piling in thousands of dollars of Aave while it's peaking in price against your coin, you're kind of nuts.
Yeah. Look, I saw an article somewhere today talking about, crypto being a cult. And, again, I think when you promote a coin, through viral marketing and guerrilla marketing and ambassadorships and reps and all of that, it's true believers. It's supposed to be.
Exactly.
I don't play that game at all.
No.
To me, it's just about the money.
I had fun going along with their game for a while, but now I'm like, you know what? Let me just milk this thing for everything I can.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be around for long.
But nobody with common sense can be a true believer on this stuff for the long term.
That's the thing that kills me. It's like, guys, seriously? You think the developers of this project give a shit about you? They don't. I hate to. Yeah, and I love it because they love to compare it in the community to Squid Game and how brilliant it is. And I'm like, everybody dies.
Yeah,
it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, why? What's the Squid Game analog? What's the incentive to not shoot the last guy?
Exactly.
If you're the game owner, it's like they're down to. Well, I'm only on. I think I've got through season. I'm down to the final 2 right now.
Oh, so sorry about the spoiler there, Joe.
Yeah. Oh no. I figured something weird's coming. I'm sure if it's twisted enough, I can get there.
It's twisted, dude. It's so good. I love that fucking show.
It's kind of, that's what these are all like that in a lot of ways. But look, anybody listening, I believe that there are certain projects that I think are better, and there's marketing and there's enthusiasm and all of that.
And there's a mission behind it. There's something substantial behind it. This is a play. It's a game. Milk it as much as you can, but look out for your own self-interest.
Yeah. Understand when you're the product.
Exactly.
It's kind of like those Gmail accounts. Oh, wow. I wonder why they're giving them away for free. You're the product. So
you're the product, pal.
So you don't know what kind of, I remember also when Peapod went public years ago, the online grocery delivery thing, one of the first ones. And I was talking to the guys that took it public, and I'm like, oh, wow, how do you get the produce? Blah, 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 and all this. And they're like, I don't know. You go, look, the important thing here on the revenue is it's the Procter & Gamble contract. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, they're constantly running tests. Like, you're buying a 12-pack of Coke, let's say, and they're like, hey, Pepsi 12-pack, $2 off. You want to switch? No. And then they're like, oh, okay, Pepsi product, $4 off. You want to switch? No. And they're like, at what point does a Coke drinker switch? And so it was all of that on every product category. So the real business was not delivering groceries and all that shit. The real business was
marketing testing.
Yeah, the psycho behavioral stuff.
That's awesome. That's actually pretty awesome.
So remember, the business model often isn't what you see or do.
Yeah, that's the same as I listened to an interview with the founder of diapers.com. I love that podcast, How I Built This, with Guy Raz.
Yeah.
And they talked about the fact that the diapers are a loss leader in the grocery stores, right? But they stock them, even though they take up mass amounts of shelving, and lose money on them. Same with diapers.com, because of all the other baby shit they can sell on the aisle, right?
Formula.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that.
Yeah. So nobody makes money on diapers. It's crazy. So these guys were building diapers.com. They couldn't get the diaper manufacturers to sell to them because none of them believed in any .com shit at all. And they had to go to Costco and buy out the Costco's supplies of diapers in order to ship. So they were, not only were they buying them, not only were they losing money on them if they bought them wholesale, they were buying them at retail and losing even more shipping out, plus paying shipping on boxes of diapers.
Just to fulfill. Yeah, it's like restaurants. Food, I think they lose money on, or they make very, very little. But alcohol, I mean, that's where like 95% of the margin is. And beverages.
Hell yeah.
Coke.
So I told my son, I'm like, why do you think a Coke is $3.50 at the restaurant? Because that Coke costs about a penny. Because that's where all the profit in the restaurant is.
Yeah. And that's why Coke was everywhere last century to now. It's that because it helped all those businesses afloat.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so when you game stuff like that, then understand it's a game.
Yeah. By the way, I just made like $300 on Smarter Coin in the last 20 minutes. So
yeah, I saw that ETH was kind of marching up again, 45.40. What else did we put in that discussion topic channel? There was something else.
We've got the OMI swap thing, which is intriguing. So the guys at Olympus DAO not only are going to do the potential ecosystem incubation thing and start helping some projects integrate with them, but there's a group of folks launching something called OMI swap, which is going to utilize the mechanisms within Olympus DAO and Ohm to build a swap site to compete with the big guys. So they're forking Sushi Swap. You'll have the liquidity and the whole bit. They'll take money off the liquidity being added, and then they have two specialized tokens, a governance token and a DEX token, that will go to Ohm holders and other folks participating in it. So I think there's actually a lot of potential here, especially as popular as Olympus DAO is right now. So I think that's cool.
What chain is it on? Is it on?
I'm assuming it'll be Ethereum based to start.
Okay.
I mean, I have to believe that they'll start there, but who knows? Maybe they'll do some Polygon stuff too. They don't say.
So do we have a token yet on OMI swap?
I don't think they've released anything yet. I think they're in the planning stages. They've launched a Discord, and And that was the other thing that was interesting. I forgot about that, the kitchen. So they are doing, where was it? A debt facility called the kitchen that you can do your own leverage of SOM and OM on them. So right now, leverage is available for SOM on, oh man, I'm drawing a blank. Abracadabra?
Probably, yeah.
No, Abracadabra's got time and W memo. Shit. Calculator guy has it. I'll look for it. But anyway, they're going to launch their own debt facility.
He was talking about Grim Finance, that one?
No, I've got Grim. I've got time and memo. I moved all my time and memo over to Grimo. No. Hold on, I'll find it. Anyway, so I think that has a ton of potential, right? If you have kind of a community-based project and you're connected to and rewarding Olympus DAO OM holders and community members, people are going to be more likely to go there to swap. They're going to be more likely to go there to LP. They're going to be more likely to go there to borrow. It just makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, no, I think it makes. I mean, I like these kind of networks. It's almost like they're running it like it's a marketing play, but at the core of it is, a financial instrument that everybody's staking and nobody's selling. It's still at like 92% staking, right?
Right.
Or out of circulation.
Yeah, it was at 98. Maybe it's 92 now. But here's the other interesting thing, right? We talked about the last week, kind of the perpetual income thing, right? Well, look, something like an Olympus DAO, you have lending facilities built in. If you build in an Alchemix type model, right, as well, there's all kinds of ways to leverage this really powerful financial engine into all kinds of products. And when I was talking to Sam at Frax yesterday, for the show, I talked to him. I said, look, there are mission-driven DeFi 2.0 projects like yours, like OM, like Liquidity, like Alchemix. There should be a not central as in centralized, but a central ecosystem incubator that's leveraging projects like these that are DeFi 2.0, that are stability oriented, right? There needs to be a project, a DAO that is actually launching new products and new DAOs underneath that connects to and makes use of the powerful financial engines of the DeFi 2.0 ecosystem, because I just think there's a million potential plays here. I also see the potential of giving a user the ability to drag and drop and combine these financial instruments into a flow and let them build their own application for their own use, or release an application easily out to the world that makes use of these open contracts that can be leveraged for financial products. So I think we're going to see a lot of cool shit happening, and it's happening very fast, right?
What it reminds me of? It sort of reminds me of like the derivatives market and groups like that, where there's these custom instruments, bespoke instruments made.
Yep.
This is getting rapidly to where we can start customizing our instruments and including multiple things in something, whether NFT or not. Of terms, payout terms, splits, triggers, rewards, all these things that can be built in. I mean, and just to show like adoption, you were the one who turned me on to Liquidity months back, and I did a little, but not too much. It looks like they're getting listed on Coinbase.
Yeah. Well, they got Coinbase OTC. They're already listed in the institutional at Coinbase, which makes total sense, because Liquidity is a very conservative protocol, lending protocol, built-in cool liquidation mechanisms, completely decentralized. They released that. I interviewed Robert Lesko of Liquidity, the founder. They released that contract out. There is no ability for them to customize anything in there, right? They took that, pushed that button, released, and boom. Now they have a mechanism on the leverage side that can shift modules there, but nobody can touch that contract. Nobody can touch the stabilization model for that coin, for that LUSD, the stable coin that comes out of Liquidity. So there's LQTY, which is the kind of the governance, kind of the token of the project. And then there's LUSD, which is the stable coin. It's all a lending backed mechanism with a cool liquidation model. That's totally decentralized, but it's working, it's functioning well, and it makes sense for an institutional group to come in because this is very conservative gains, 10, 30% gains on your lending and providing liquidity. But it's a really smart model. It's really good for them that they're now listed on Coinbase. It's institutional Coinbase. So
yeah, well,
that's good news.
But it shows that it's like kind of the first step, because then you could see Alchemex getting in there.
Yeah,
you could see some of these other ones that aren't where it's the basics. It's not the hyper spiraled up, wound up stuff that would take, say regulators or someone to get, behind. It would take them years to understand.
Yeah.
It's the kind of like the more conservative, but at least it gets a toe in the water.
Yep. Exactly. So all good stuff there. I'm trying to find I can't believe I can't find the friggin' ohm leveraging thing. I'll post it in the notes when I get done. Oh, I know where it is. It's Rari. S-ohm on Rari. So you take your S-ohm and you can leverage it on Rari. There's 2 pools on Rari for leveraging your S-ohm. Bless you. So you can borrow against that.
And, and that's the game. To me, again, talking to other people, CPAs this morning, I was like, you don't really understand what you can do.
Yeah.
As far as borrowing money and instantly borrowing money, and building a stack that way.
Yeah. Would you fucking look at this? Look
one?
At this. Look at this number. $1,224,000,000 in their fuse pools. This is Rari. Rari was founded by like 17-year-olds. I mean, what kind of world are we living in where this happens, right? Where there is this massive fucking financial engine built by a bunch of brilliant young people, right? I mean, and nobody can stop them. Can you imagine if a 17-year-old had gone to fucking Goldman Sachs and said, "Hey, I want to create this digital lending protocol and let people create their own lending products on it"? It would have been, first of all, it would have taken 10 years to get approved. And it sure as hell wasn't coming from a 17-year-old, right?
What's interesting is that, again, I look at something like this and it reminds me of WIT Capital, which, again, most people probably won't remember this, but it was something that came online during the .com days, and it allowed people to get into IPOs. So regular old mom and pop investors could come in and get allocation out of IPOs. Well, eventually Goldman Sachs put an investment. I only know a lot about this because a buddy of mine passed on joining them. So, so you hear about it all the time. I should have done that. It's like, whatever, dude. But Goldman Sachs, I think, came in and put $1 billion in for 10%. Now this is 20 years ago plus, and then came in and bought the whole thing. And so it was just like this. It was young people formed it. And so Goldman Sachs looked at it like, here's a whole unbanked group of people with money.
Yeah.
Okay. So eventually these guys, Goldman and everybody, are going to be picking these types of deals up because, they want to turn, like I was thinking about, all of those, say, the crypto bazillionaires now. And, we talk about gold and crypto constantly, different discussions. It's, you start thinking about de-risking. And so like, if I'm the crypto guys, maybe I'm now thinking it's time to buy some gold. Okay. Just because, whatever. I mean, you have other kinds of risk related to IT infrastructure.
Right.
So you might as well have some physical gold. But the point is that all the guys that run all the money, they're looking for people with the money that haven't diversified risk yet.
Right.
And so, you got $1 billion in, pick a crypto, any financial planner is going to want you to diversify some of that out and into other assets. So to me, I look at this 17-year-old kids building this. This is exactly the kind of stuff that these big banks want to eventually buy.
Yeah. But here's the thing. What is it? I mean, I guess the big bank can leverage, the fees off of it. But at the end of the day, those kids have made so much money. Why would they ever sell out to the banks? Right now, the banks can fork the code and do it themselves. But unless they hide their brand behind it, who in DeFi is going to go after it? Now, institutional guys will be like, oh, this is cool. I can create lending products. So maybe that's the market for that. But I agree. I think you're right that they're going to want this. But, think about the world we live in. You could not have fathomed this being possible a year or two ago. Like that there would be $1.2 billion supplied in loans against leveraged assets by a bunch of 17 and 18-year-old kids. I mean, it's frigging amazing. And they got hacked. Don't forget, they got hacked and they recovered from it. It's incredible.
Well, I mean, think about when, we just back up some. You think about there was, remember that movie War Games or whatever with, these are like dial-up modem shit that nobody knew what the hell. I think people were building computers from Radio Shack devices at that point. But the point was that the kids were the smart ones that understood it. All right? So then,
that's
fast
true.
Forward through, mainframes at college to PCs to Macs, to laptops, to tablets, to smartphones, all the way down. When you grow up with a certain tech, it's native, let's say smartphones or whatever else is going on. They look at things differently than we do. Yeah. Because we're looking at it from the framework that we grew up in or came from. Yep. They see inefficiencies and, areas of improvement that we just never see.
Yeah.
So,
they see around the barriers that we build mentally in our heads based on the old rules, right? Yeah. That's the beauty of it. It's like, if you can just clean slate this shit and not think about things, the way they're supposed to be. Yeah. And look, it doesn't mean it has to be 17-year-olds. You and I are fully capable of getting past our own biases, right? We're capable. And the beauty of it is these products, these tools, these platforms allow us to do that. Because that is what opens it's like the guy of the story I always tell about my neighbor who's 20 years, 30 years in TradFi, and I was showing him Alchemix. I was showing some other platforms and he's like, oh yeah, I don't believe this shit's not going to last, blah, 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 blah. And I said, just stop and think about all of the financial products you wish you could have built and that you wanted to build and what you would have gone through at your big ass bank to get that product to market. You don't have to ask anybody's permission here. You can take any concept that you have and make it a reality and test it and see if people want to use it. I said, and that's when his mind started going, oh, holy shit, right? And then all of a sudden, he's past those barriers. He's like, okay, wait a minute. I don't have to ask anybody's permission and I can build a $1.2 billion financial product, right? What have they been around? 9 months, these guys? The world is changing fast.
Well, there's a lot of deep wallets out there again in crypto.
Yeah.
And we haven't, and everybody's like, what do I do with this? And, I kind of went through an exercise yesterday of just offboarding some stuff into fiat world. And, it's a friggin' nightmare.
Oh, it's fucking sucks.
Yeah. It's like, you're just like, what the, why, but, you got to, spend in dollars or whatever. So somewhat. So to me, I think that, when all of a sudden somebody puts up something like this and, I'm going to say, if you're a 17-year-old developer, you probably were mining Bitcoin and a few other things along the way while you were gaming in your room, and you were probably playing some play to earn type stuff. And, you've been comfortable with tokens for a long time since Roblox and all those other ones came out. Yeah. So it's been real to you, those guys, these tokens. Whereas when we bring in, one of our peers and they're like, what the hell is that? What's it secured by? And it's like, and then you kind of can say whatever you want to say at that point, drawing analogs to the fiat world or just saying, name another token. But in reality, you build up confidence by using it.
Exactly.
Saying that, holy shit, yeah, I do get paid money for this. And I am able to move money that I make here off into the regular banking system.
Yep.
And spend it on things like, stuff for SAT classes for your kids and things. So once you see that you really can do it, then a lot of that skepticism goes away. But all the skepticism that they have is probably pretty accurate, when you look at certain things. We accept, like with Smarter Coin, we accept that it could be a total colossal, clusterfuck, basically.
Yeah, total rug pull.
And maybe eventually, I think the odds are eventually it does run out of gas, or the
of
math
course
doesn't work. But until then, it's a game.
Milk it.
And you can make money. It's just like, taking the Packers and points.
Yep.
In a game, you're kind of playing a game against other people playing a game. And that's where you have to be a little more careful to segment stuff so that you look at what is really an investment versus what's a game. And, and then ones that look like a little bit of both, or maybe it's a medium-term investment because the game still works at that point, but then maybe the game runs out at 12 months.
Yep.
So you have to always think about that. And so when we look at all these rewards on new chains, that's what we're thinking of, that, those are marketing dollars.
Yeah.
It's not going to be there forever. So you go get it now, and then you roll to the next one. So, always kind of like the guy I talked to this morning or yesterday, an accountant buddy, he's like wanting one that he should put a bunch of money in that's going to turn into like, 100x. And I'm like, I don't know what those are. I have no clue. To me, you're just, throwing darts at a board.
Yeah.
But, good luck. So, to me, those guys have a hard time getting around stuff, and particularly if it's stuff that we won't touch.
Right.
Then why would they? So I think it's just, you have to think of it in different ways.
That sheep billionaire has been started moving his money.
Which one?
The sheep guy, the guy that invested 8,000 in sheep and it turned into 5.7 billion. He started moving it. He started moving it out of the wallet last night.
So now half the world's stalking him.
Well, here's the problem. If you're a sheep holder, you go, oh, fuck, I better get the hell out. So you completely crush the price because everybody runs for the exit because they're afraid he's going to unload $2 billion worth of sheep on the market. It's weird. If I were he, man, I'd be like trying to figure out ways to split this up a lot of wallets and just start trickling out pieces here and there. But I mean, look, if nothing else, if he gets out with $500 million,
100 million. Who the hell? I mean, 30 million. I mean, like you're like sitting in your double wide trailer or you're working your job somewhere doing that shit. It's like now all of a sudden you're worrying about how much of the 5.7 billion you're going to get,
It's probably one of the founders' grandma or something.
Yeah.
Grandma, put in $8,000 in my little project, would you? It's a cute dog. Could you?
Sure, Johnny. Little Johnny.
Could you put 8,000 in? And now you decide how much you're going to give to grandma.
Johnny always meant well. He just ended up in rehab all the time. So now he's shaking down Granny for another 8K, and then he goes and makes 5.7 billion. So I guess who was right? Johnny was right.
Johnny was finally right.
So you only got to be right once, dude.
Yeah, did Johnny pay back grandma the $8,000, or does Johnny give grandma her share?
Johnny should lay a B on grandma at that point, I think.
Hell yeah.
Just for yucks.
Hell yeah. Yeah. That's a pretty good story, though. Can you imagine going to your family and saying,
fuck all you assholes, but Granny's getting a B.
I just reached the top 1% of the population of the world in wealth by buying a fucking dog coin.
Yeah. So all you assholes can get pounded, but Granny's riding with me in the G5.
I think on that note.
Yeah, that's perfect, man.
That's perfect. Hey, everybody, if you like what we're doing, you enjoy it. If you're listening on the podcast, please like it. Please share it on Twitter. Please review us in the podcast app that you love, Apple Podcast. It's on every podcast app. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and share, thumbs up, ring the bell so that you get notified when we put a new one out. LinkedIn, Twitch. We love that you're listening. We need more people listening because it makes our egos happy. No, really, we're on a mission. And we really want to spread the word. We want more people to know about it. It's a labor of love. but would really appreciate it if you share it, if you like it, if you review us. If you think we're dog shit, say it. If you think we're great, say it. If you're having fun with us. Also, comments are live all the way during the show from YouTube and Twitch and Twitter. So always feel free to ask us questions. If you want us to look at a product, my DMs are open on Twitter, B05Crypto. If you think there's a project we should be aping into, let us know. We'll at least take a look at it and review it. So that's it. Joe, you got anything else?
I was just going to say that I noticed this morning, I think it was at Time, Wonderland on Avalanche went over $1 billion in TVL as well.
Nice.
So
I got my time in Grim. I moved my WMemo over to Grim last night.
How's that working for you?
Well, I'm up. It only started at 11,000. I woke up this morning. It was 13,700. So
it's a good way to wake up. Yeah, hell yeah.
So I'm happy. And here's what's going to happen. I'm going to sell half of this pool. All you smarter guys out there, I'm about to sell half this fucking pool. And guess where it's going? WMemo.
There you go. That's what I'm heavy on, but I'm on the time side of it. It's got legs. I mean, There's room there for this to 10x, basically, in my mind. And so go ahead.
Hold on.
Yes, thank you for that. I was noticing that earlier.
This is not financial advice. Do your own research. These are just our opinions. We are not your financial advisors. That's the warning for the podcast.
So if anybody's watching, just assume this is up there all the time.
Yeah.
You can't see it. And anyone listening, just assume everything we say is just not advice.
You should never listen to us.
We're just giving you case studies.
That's it.
And you take the strategies, do what you want with them. You play it the way you want to play it. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So we hear a lot of this stuff is chatter, water cooler chatter, as I call it. We don't have any, you don't have the stuff in equities here to worry about. So, you can freewheel and talk about anything, which is what we do. But, if we're talking about it, we probably own some of it. But, those pools doesn't help us out if you come in and crush our yields.
Stay the fuck away.
Yeah.
Don't do anything we do.
Until I tell you I'm out of it, then stay away. But feel free to go at that PBR USDT pool on QuickSwaps, which I think is about 2,000% APR.
Damn.
And then just like he said, suicide mine that or whatever. So you
suicide compounding.
Yeah. So buy the PBR with it all the time. I'm over on the defined side with it, but any of that stuff we're talking about it, we're in it. If we leave, we'll tell you. But again, not advice. Not
advice, not financial advice, but there are some opportunities out there. Yeah, look, I would actually move these gains from Smarter onto Ohm. I just don't feel like paying the fucking Ethereum fees right now. So I'm not going to. It's stupid. Well, I love Ohm. I believe in Ohm. I think it's the original, but I actually am really impressed with Danielle at Wonderland Time, Abracadabra, Popsicle. Those are his 3 projects. I like that he wants to differentiate Wonderland, which is a fork of Olympus DAO, which is a fork of Ohm Time. So I like him. I trust him, and you shouldn't trust him, but I trust him. So
he's also involved in Spirit Swap. So over to there. So that's that DEX on Phantom. I think it's like I've been in and out a few times, like 34 cents or something right now. But he's in there. So the Spooky Swap, Spirit Swap, competition, that might be advantageous. But again, just take the alpha we're spewing out there and do what you want with it.
Yep.
And, look, Pumptober, Uptober, whatever the third one we had for October was, but, Cryptober, that's right. All worked out for everybody. I'm pretty sure everybody, I know I was up, and I know everybody I know was up huge.
I'm up.
So this month's a little trickier in my mind. I think it still goes up. There's another big one coming somewhere in this, ETH deflationary cycle theory and a few other things. I don't know when, but I'm not too worried if it drops a little bit. I think it gets gobbled up. So, buy on value this month is my sort of read. Look at the bottom of your board, like what you have, and when stuff's down 6-7% and you're looking to figure out what to do with those rewards, buy that one.
Yeah.
Whichever one's down, and don't buy the ones that are up.
Well, and it's like what I did, right? Like take your yield and put it into something a little more conservative than the crazy pair you're in the pool, right? I was stacking ETH and WBTC for most of the summer from all my yield. So,
and now you're happy.
Very happy.
Yeah. So it's like, I kind of did the same thing with, it was either Matrix Swap or PBR or one of those where look, PBR went from like 40 cents to $2.70 over the weekend, I think.
Yeah.
So, I dump a third of it at that point.
Yep.
Just because now everything that's out there running and earning yield is house money.
Yep.
I pulled my money off with a profit. Now I'm just running on there. So, looking to get into other things. So, that's the way I preach to do it, is go gradual and build. And, look, most of you guys are a lot younger than we are. So you got tons of time. And,
Speaking of which, and if you have children, start getting your 12 and 13-year-olds to learn Solidity, because that's how you'll get rich.
Yeah. A teenage coder sweatshop basement.
Exactly.
Turn their friends onto it too.
Exactly.
Pay them in crypto.
Exactly.
Yeah. Issue a token. Tie it to an NFT of your house. And that coin. Anyhow.
All right, buddy.
All right. Anything else that we missed?
Nah, that's it. That's all I got.
All right, man.
Have a lovely. I'll catch you later.
All right. See everyone tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye.